Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Critting Your Role, the actor's guide to role playing your character. So, thus far, we've talked about some physical things as far as incorporating your entire body. We've talked about breath support. We've talked a little of acting theory. Today, I want to talk about something that stage actors and actors in general, when they first start getting roles and things like that, where they have speaking parts, they have very large issues with this. And that is, what do you do with these crazy things that are attached to your body? Because it looks weird on stage and it looks weird on film to say all your lines with your hands hanging at your side, despite the fact that I'm gonna move this mic a little closer because I'm still a little sore. Despite the fact that a lot of us do, and those of us that do talk with our hands, like me, tend to look really weird. On stage, that's the norm, and how you use your hands and how you hold them, how you use them for emphasis and things like that, can really change how you play your character. And the same can be true in role playing as well. Now, when you're sitting at a table, or like me, where a lot of my role playing is done online, when you're staring into a camera, a lot of times, like, I can do a lot of things and people don't actually see my hands. So some of these things may have to be modified a little bit for your specific style of role playing. But learning how to use your hands effectively can really create some nuance to your character that the rest of the table will see. One of the things that I've done on stage many, many times before, when I'm playing a character that is supposed to be either nervous or not very confident, or I want the audience to feel uncomfortable. For whatever reason, when I'm on stage, I want them to feel uncomfortable. I play bad guys a lot on stage because I have a very deep voice. So if I want them to feel uncomfortable, I will fidget with my hands. Now, with the tremor, that makes it even more bizarre. But what I'm talking about is not, shaking your hand like this or anything like that. What I'm talking about is, like, you hold your hands and you'll fidget with them. You sit there, you'll bite your nails a little bit, or maybe you'll rub the back of your neck, or you touch your eye. In poker, we call these tells, because this is generally they're generally indications that there's something wrong with the person themselves. They're being deceitful, they're anxious, or something like that. All characters get anxious at one point or another. And just these minor little things of, just holding your hands, or there's actually a psychological term, I can't even remember what the term is, but for people who are trying to calm themselves down, they will do reassuring things. One of the things that I found that I do is I actually I pet my knees. It sounds very, very weird, but it's actually the same action you do when you're trying to console a friend, where you go, "Hey, dude, man, it's all right. I really have to stop using my dominant hand. Hey, it's all right, okay? It's all right." It's the same thing, and you will actually subconsciously do that to yourself. Sometimes it's just your hands, where you're just I have to do this really high up. Sometimes you're just sitting there and you're petting your hands because you're trying to reassure yourself, you're trying to calm yourself down. Sometimes it's a little bit more robust. You have your arms crossed and you're just petting your shoulder like this, or you just keep kind of rubbing it up and down. Again, that gives off two things. Arms crossed, I'm a closed off person. I don't want you to come in. Petting, I'm trying to reassure myself about something. Another thing, and this is something you will actually see in the business world all the time. This, and it's going to look weird because my hand won't stop shaking, but this stance of your hands, this is what's called a power stance. You will see this a lot in interviews. You will see this a lot in meetings with your boss. Your boss will put their hands like this, and they'll generally hold them down a little bit lower than you can see on camera here, but they'll put their hands like this, and they'll speak to you, and they'll gesture to you with their hands like that every so often. It's a power gesture. It's meant to show dominance. So if you have a character that's supposed to be very powerful, but not so much in a physical way. If you have a high charisma character who influences people, or if you are a DM and you're trying to play that bad guy who is more of the kingpin kind of mastermind rather than the thuggish brute that has an army at their command. You know, someone that manipulates, just literally not doing anything else but doing this during conversations and looking at people in the eye and just gesturing to them while you do this will make them feel that you have the power in the conversation. So if you are the leader in your group, if you are, you know, any of these instances, this is a power stance. You know, use this to take control of a conversation, where they're trying to intimidate an NPC, whether you're trying to talk with the other things. You will be surprised how quickly people pick up on that language, because it's kind of ingrained in us. And like I said, it's something that's so incredibly common. When I was in retail, specifically when I was doing interviewing and staffing and things like that, I would do that during interviews without even realizing I was doing it. It was just something I naturally did, because when I had been interviewed, all the, you know, conversations I would have, that's how my boss had acted, and that's how I had been taught to act in interview situations. So yeah. So that's what I want you guys to focus on, is figure out what to do with your hands. Again, doing something physical, especially something physical that you yourself normally don't do, is really going to take you out of yourself and help you to get into your character. And that's the whole goal of this, is you really want to be in character. You want to be focused on that. So whether it's fidgeting your hands, whether it's using that power stance, whether it's reassuring yourself, really anything else, use your hands when you're in character. You know, even something as simple as leaning forward on your elbow shows confidence, pushes your energy forward. All of that is done with your arms. You know, use them. You have them there. They're very, very useful. You know, small ticks, biting your nails, rubbing your eye, rubbing the back of your neck. These are all things that will give the rest of the group non-verbal ways to understand your character better. And by doing this, you'll also start to learn and understand your character a little better as well. So yes, in the comments below, the first thing I'd like everyone to do is, and don't worry about just trying this out at the table itself. Try this in real life. The next time you talk with your boss, maybe you're negotiating a pay raise, use that power stance. Just sit there very calmly and go, you know what? I'd like to talk to you about that. You'd be surprised how differently the conversation goes. You know, try using your hands a little bit differently. Try talking with your hands a little bit. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's something that I do often, and I use it to put emphasis on different words and things like that. So please, please try this stuff out. In the comments below, let me know first, what are some of the things that you yourself, when you are just you, what are some of the things that you yourself do with your hands that you didn't realize until now that you're thinking about it? You know, this is a great way to learn a little bit more about yourself while you're also learning about your characters. And then the other thing I'd like in the comments below, let me know how people react to you trying some new things, using your hands when you're role playing. Again, we want to get into the habit of role playing the character as opposed to narrating the character. Because while narrating can be fun, role playing is really where it's at. It's so much fun. You learn so much about yourself. You learn so much about the character. It's really, really great. If you want to see more stuff like this, again, you know, always subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see me use some of these techniques and a lot of other techniques, I do run D&D games on my Twitch channel every Tuesday night. So it's twitch.com/TrainerJody. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at TrainerJody there. So those are all great places if you want to see what practical applications of this look like. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.